Okay. All right, the floor is open for public comments. Anybody?
Am I still sworn?
You are.
I just want to restate a little bit precisely what I believe my complaint was in my referral to the Department of Justice. I believe that the variance in how the state of Rhode Island has implemented HAVA versus what I believe HAVA says is that the rules and regulations as promulgated by the Board of Elections in 2008 makes optional the collection of personally identifying information and also makes optional the verification of that information. And it's those options that are in that promulgated rule, which I don't believe are in HAVA. In fact, HAVA reads fairly plainly, and that is not an optional element to HAVA. I am not alone in having reviewed this. I've had 6 different attorneys take a look at it, because before I decided to put my name out there in public looking at this, recognizing that I am not an attorney, I wouldn't have taken this step without having had it reviewed by attorneys well qualified to
Could you identify them?
I could, but I'm not going to, because I haven't obtained their permission.
So we don't know
to use
how
them.
qualified they are.
I'll give you my permission.
Attorney John Pagliarini is one of the attorneys who's taken a look at it. So I wanted to make that comment to make sure that it was clear what my specific issue was that I referred to the Department of Justice. That's precisely what it is. You also have in front of you 10 or 12 pages of charts, and I don't know if anyone has taken a look at those charts, but if you have questions for me about what what information those charts communicate, I'm happy to either interpret them for you or to walk you through them quickly if you want, or just to answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Chair, I have a couple of questions.
Yes,
Now,
Your Honor.
Mr. Block, you're not an attorney, and you've said that you have 6 attorneys look at this. So I guess my first question is, why didn't you come to us with this before you went to the Department of Justice?
Honestly, I didn't want to have to debate it with you in public on Twitter, sir.
Really?
Really.
Really? Well, I know you blocked me because you don't like dissent.
I think it's highly inappropriate that we're going back and forth in public when
Well, we
this is a
don't, because you blocked
quasi-judicial.
me.
This is a quasi. That's right, because I don't believe it's appropriate that we argue these things in public. They should be argued here in this room only.
No, that's not correct. Are you familiar with the Supreme Court case of, ironically named, the Republican Party of Minnesota versus White?
No, sir.
Okay, maybe you should read it, because it specifically gives people in a position such as mine the right, under the First Amendment, to discuss policy and to do it in any form, whether it's public, whether it's social media. And I understand that there are those of you who would like to limit my First Amendment right to speak on matters of policy because you dissent from the position I have. But I think that that's just, frankly, grandstanding. And I think that it's unfortunate. I did not. You have called me nuts.
No, I've never done that, sir.
You called
Not
us
ever.
nuts. You
No,
called us
not ever,
nuts.
sir.
You said it was nuts.
That's a false allegation.
What you said in your Twitter account that we were nuts to require you to follow the law with respect to the issue of complaints against individuals who might be inappropriately registered. It's right there, it's on the public record, but I don't want to debate that with you. What I want to ask you is, so your reason for not bringing this to the Board of Elections first was because you didn't want to debate me on Twitter. Is that your statement?
That is my statement.
Okay. And you did this
I'm
before
going to ask the
tonight.
chair, and I do so with extreme deference to the board member, but
I understand.
okay,
let me
anything
move
else?
on.
It's just that we do have a complaint pending.
Let me move
Whatever,
on.
Mr. Block has every right to file with the Department of
Right.
Justice, and he has.
Right.
And we
Well,
will address it.
We got his answer. So the second question is, with respect to the complaint that you filed, you have heard us explain to you that we are conducting a legal analysis that we are conducting a 50-state analysis. Are you satisfied with that?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Are you satisfied that we're doing an adequate job to respond to your complaint?
I believe the proper response is a legal one, and the legal response needs to be whether or not you're in compliance with HAVA as written.
But you're not an attorney, so we have our attorneys looking at it, and we have our staff looking at it. Are you satisfied that we are addressing this issue appropriately?
I hand it off to the only legal authority in the country to enforce HAVA's requirements on a state, and that's the Department of Justice.
So you're not going to answer the question?
I'm not qualified to answer it.
You're not qualified. I'm asking your personal opinion as to whether you are satisfied that we are proceeding appropriately. And you won't answer that. That's fine. That's it.
That's it.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yes, sir. Oh, no.
I don't have it.
I'd love to answer another question.